Boats, boats, boats! Brisbane Yamaha knows boats.
Hi, I'm Aaron Goodchild, the owner of Brisbane Yamaha, and today I want to show you some of the finest product that's ever been made in Australia. Now, we talk about quality, we talk about design, we talk about the top of the range in innovation, performance and quality. No, I'm not talking about this car, I'm talking about Evolution boats. I can tell you, Evolution boats. Unfortunately, last year my mother and father died. I got stuck in Victoria. Palaszczuk locked me down there for 3 months. All bad, not going to dwell on that, but what I want to talk about is while I was down there, I went to the Evolution factory. I saw Paul and Melinda Junga. Quality, shipwrights. I saw a bespoke boat being made. Now, let's have a look at Evolution. Australian made. Bespoke means one off. Do you know what happens? No chopper guns here. The whole boat is hand laid. Sheets of fiberglass, composites, wovings, all hand done in, so it's perfect. Right? Now, here comes a car. This stuff doesn't just happen. Come to the back here, Dan, because Evolution. What they do is build a boat that's not got to do with being easy, it's got to do with being the best. Whether that's having all the screws lined up, whether that's having a transom that's a solid fiberglass, no composites. There's a little bit of wood up on the dash and a little bit where the seats go in, because wood's really good for that product, won't rot, it's all sealed, saturated, right? But everything else is solid fiberglass. Now, this is a 552, and I can tell you, it's the biggest 552 I've ever seen in my life. Now, why is it a 552 when it measures 6'2" overall? Because the Jungas measure it at the waterline, and we're going to measure it in a minute, but let's have a look. So it's a 552 with a 175. I would have put a 150 on it, but all I could get was a 175. Now, let's have a look, Dan. I need you to show the hull. And we're going to walk around and I want you to see underneath. Now this one's grey, I know, and it's got some hooks, it's got that planing hull in it. Dan, now have a look at these aggressive chines. Look at that. Now look at 3 aggressive reverse chines. What they're going to do is give you lift, squirt the water down, and obviously give you just the best stability that you could get. Now, have a look at this, Dan. Have a look at it. Come on, Dan. Now, why don't every boat do it? Because that is labour intensive and that is very hard to make. Most boats could not do something like that. They're all rounded off and let's make it pop out of a mould like cookie cutter. This thing is to ride. Now come around the front while we're talking at this, because the people that buy these, and make no mistake, unlike that car we were looking at, this thing doesn't cost that much more than an inferior boat, right? And they're very good value for money. I'm impressed. And because what I did is, I said to myself, after my parents passed away, I said, well, why don't you just go and get the best boats you can, Aaron? Just get the finest boats that they make in Australia and sell them at Brisbane Yamaha. And I've done that, and Evolution's part of it. Show down here, Dan. Look at the lines. Look at this great big V in here. That's going to squirt that water out. You know, the hull, look at it. It's streamlined. The blokes that go and make these, they've got no fingerprints from sanding. Hand sanding and making the hulls perfect. It is just, it's a sight. You go down to the factory and have a look and you just go, oh my God, that is a lot of work, and they've got a lot of pride in everything they build. We put Dumbia trailers on it, we can put any trailer. There's awesome stainless steel work, big hatches. You know, all of this Targa and stainless steel, it'll fold down, it's high quality, it's all built to be perfect, not for a price. Obviously stainless steel rod holders, stainless steel floors, bait pumps. Now, if you look under there, you can see you've got a through-hole transducer, you've got a pickup down there. under the hull. And you know, it's not all about the hull, but I tell you, the hull is the big difference, because when we go on the water in this, because Dan's got his drone working, I got back from Victoria and we're going to do on-water displays. Now, let's come up, Dan, and let's have a look inside this boat. 2.5 metre beam, you know, it's massive. Look at the quality even in this bait board. Got a couple of ham and pickles here just to keep me going. I'll probably eat them in a second. Right, rod holders, once again stainless steel. You got a bait tank over here with a glass door, and it might have a small, you better look in there because it's massive. It's got a little lid, which is good because all the water and everything doesn't fly out. All the water's staying inside. You put a little net, you've got a glass door there. Now, the little things, like there's storage everywhere, and look under there, Dan. You can see your batteries and all your house stuff. Massive amounts of room underneath, all fiberglass lined, all going out. Little area under your door, you know, with some tackle boxes here. Good little transom door, feet underneath. This is solid, solid. Everything's solid because everything's hand built. Have a look at this. This is the base of the rear seat. It's solid fiberglass. You could stand, jump, you could do it. You could use that like a max track with your four-wheel drive, a ramp. I've never seen a stronger rear seat and sidewalls, you know, handles. Very, very high quality. Look at the floor, all non-slip, you don't need to do anything. That stuff is hard to do. The cheap boats, well, they're not cheap anymore, they're just ripping you off. All of that other flooring is just not as good as this. Now the ergonomics in the chairs, they slide backwards and forth. More storage underneath here. You know, you could use that. Oh, it'd be like an esky. You could do anything. You could put ice in there, you could put fish in there, you could have that little kill tank. You could tackle, lures, you know. More storage, a little glove box over here. I'd put my phone in there, maybe another couple of ham and pickles. The seat will slide backwards and forwards and turn around. I can stand up. We've got these great Yamaha side concealed control box. Plenty of storage. Have a look at the storage on the ground. Nothing is wasted. There's no room and there's no expense spared to give you room and beam. Now, stand up, big dash. You know, you can get the biggest sounders. You get your Yamaha gauges here, key switches here, VHF radio. There's plenty of room. You put a couple of sounders up there. You've got this great Targa, very high quality, glass windscreens, quality once again. Now, Dan, get in there. Come on, Dan, get in there and have a look. Plenty of room underneath. This has got the bunk infill. Right, you can put a toilet, you can do anything. There's storage under the seats. Get in there and have a look, Dan. He always makes me go in there, and he normally shows me butt. Go on all the way in, Dan, because you've got to look behind the dash. Look at the wiring and how easy it is to get to everything. You know, I'm not saying the whole family of four is going to sleep in there, but if you weren't gigantic, you know, 6'4" like me, you're sleeping in there beautifully. Couple of normal sized people, not a problem. Nice, plenty of storage, good windows, good anchor well to get through there, and off you go. Just some measurements for where it is in the water, because it blew my mind. From chine to chine, it's 2.4 metres in the water. 2.4 out to the chine that's in the water. I can tell you, you go and measure some other boats. Now come, let's quickly do the length. Now come from here, Cody, you come here. I'll get up the smart end. Cody's one of my apprentices. Goes great, works some big hours now. Jesus Lordy, if this was any other boat, have a look here. It'd be called a 6'3". Now I'll show you why it's called a 5'2". Stay there, Cody. Because Junga likes to do it at the waterline, which is back here, down here, right? So what Junga does is measure his boats from what part's in the water. But really every other manufacturer, this would be a 6'3", 6'4". You know, some of them cheaper brands, who knows what they'd say this. They just stick bits on, put a duck board, you know, measure it to the outside of the motor. Now, let's go and see how this beauty rolls. So here we are, out in the bay, in the Evolution 552. Have a look at the beam on this thing. It is massive. It's got a huge, the biggest cockpit area I've ever seen on a boat that, yeah, you'd call it a 6.2, but it's a 5.52. Now, I've had to wait. Seagulls are struggling. There wasn't another boat in the boat ramp because no one's going out, but an Evolution of this quality is made for it. So let's get into it. Okay, so we've got a 175 Yamaha, and you know I love me Yamahas. There's just nothing better. There really isn't. Every country in the world, Yamaha's the leading outboard, you know? And you get sick of it. Oh, I love me Yamaha. Well, that's because they're the best. Now, so I'm coasting along. I'm a 2800, 3100. And like I said, there's about half a metre to a metre. You can see white caps all over. You find a wave, commit, the Yamaha roars, we're on top of that wave and it's smooth. I'm sitting down, I'm doing 5-1, got no idea how fast we're going, hands holding on for grim death. I'll slow it back and I'll just get on top and I'll see if I can get my phone out. I should have bought me glasses. I'll get up a little bit more. Now I'm coasting along at 4.3. The drone can't keep up because of the wind, but I can tell you I could sit down. I'll probably have a ham and pickle sandwich in a minute because I'm just at 4.1. I'm using 25 litres an hour. So I'm just jogging along. So people go, well, what would you be like? Well, if I was going across, and let's say we're with my grandma, we're heading that bit of bottom bashing. Well, I don't like hanging around, right? So I would probably just get on top of this next wave, like that. And I'm doing 4.4. Try and keep him with a stand. I'm doing 4.4, I'm sitting down. My phone is telling me, I'll get that in a sec, 51 kilometres an hour, 4.4, using 24 litres an hour. Okay, so I'll try backing up into some waves, just slow. Right, just pumping over, backing up on a fish, keeping it in. Not bad. It's a bit of waves over, but you do. Forward, you know, the fish is moved to the front. Let's see how it goes with a following sea. I'll trim it down and I'll purposely try and run across this wave, see if it'll broach. Cross that. Now I'll come back the other way. Drive like you didn't know what you were doing. No problem at all. This boat's going to make you look like a genius, even if you're a novice, you know. So I suppose if you had a couple of kids, wanted to start offshore fishing, doing stuff, you had a bit of money, you've saved up, coronavirus has been all right, you got a bit of that ScoMo money, God love him, this would be a pretty good boat to have. It is a trophy boat, mate, no mistake. What I've got to say about this boat, whether it's because of the hand laid, whether it's the beam or those reverse chines, it feels like a much bigger boat. Like, we're in a following sea. Look at that, I backed off right on the wall and it's just got a lot of buoyancy in the front. Really holds up. Now I'll turn over that and then what I'm going to do, I'll try and go across it. I'll go on a 3/4, cross those. I just have a bite. It's lunchtime, just done a couple of ham pickles. Look at this, one hand, cross the wave, no broaching, right on the top. It's actually, to very soft. It's very stable. There's no trim tabs or anything. It doesn't need trim tabs. What would I say? I'd say it makes other 5.5 metre boats handle like crap, because this thing's in a league of its own. The thing is that what I thought, you know, when your mum and dad pass away, not because of COVID, but not with COVID, but because of COVID in an old people's home, you know? And then you think to yourself, well, what do I want to do? I'm next, you know? That's right, when your mum and dad die, you're next. And I thought, well, I love my business, I love Brisbane Yamaha, I'm incredibly proud of it. But one of the holes in it had been a fiberglass brand, you know? We had these bay sport things and they were a good entry-level boat, but they ended up dear. And I thought, well, why charge too much when you can get the best? And because of the size and we're the biggest boatyard in Australia, I searched Australia. And being down in Victoria, geez, I'm glad I'd come across Evolution. I'd heard of them. Seen them on the water for the last 10 years at boat shows. But when I went down to the factory and saw how they're made, I actually signed up a dealer agreement there on the spot. No jokes. Like $1 million within about half an hour of seeing how they were built. I just knew they were at another level. Just another quality, and the enthusiasm and passion for boating, fishing, manufacture that the Jungers, Melinda and Paul, have got. Just a wonderful thing. We're in a following sea, you can see, and I'm just driving over each wave and into it, just to show you that hull, squirting that water out, right? And it's solid. I feel safe. I feel like I'm in a much bigger boat than a 552. I feel like I'm in a 6.5, 7 metre boat. And it feels solid. Danny, you're getting the footage of that? Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to turn. Right, I'm turning across the waves. I wouldn't do it like this normally, but this thing's hanging in, just trying to show you what this hull will do. And it's that hand laid, it's that quality. It's been a ship ride and just an absolute fanatic is what Paul Junger does. His wife tries to control him, but it's all about the quality. It's all about the ride, and that's why Evolution's got such a great name. And then into waves, watch this, bam, into it. But it's soft. There's a little bit of noise, but it's soft. Watch me hit this one. Whoa! Dan hates that. Woohoo! Geez, you could have some fun in this thing, you know? The drone hates it, but I'll just show you what that hull does, because I like it. Bam! Over the top. Oh, woo-hoo-wee! Safe. Slow down. All right. Did that drone keep with us, Dan? Anywhere? We're in the Caboolture River. And, you know, if you're just creeping along easy, you know, you got your grandma out the back and she's filleting the fish. So you want to take it easy. What am I on? 38 revs. I'm using 18 litres an hour. We're doing 36 kilometres. And fair dinkum, Grandma hasn't cut herself yet, you know. I used to be a professional filleter, you know. I always get Grandma to do the filleting, cleaning. And she's good at washing boats too. Nothing like keeping your granny busy, you know. And what I wanted to show you was the capability of this boat. The reason why, you know, Paul and Melinda Junger have put their life into building these things. It's all the little 1% that make the difference, that make this a very, very special boat in a very, very special boat brand. You know, we've got the whole range in store at Brisbane Yamaha. This is the smallest in the fleet. We've got centre consoles, we've got hard tops, windscreens, 6 metres. You know, the whole range is there. Look on our website. But what I'll say is, this is one of the most capable fiberglass boats and well laid out that I've ever seen. For some reason, I feel like I'm in the back of a 40-foot game boat. I'm not sure why. It's really stable in this, and you can see me hair, I've got gel and everything. It's blowing. The drone can't handle it. What I'll say to you is, if you're looking for one of these boats, if you're looking for a Bruce Craft, a Haynes Signature, you're looking for a top level aluminium boat, do yourself a favour and come in and test in an Evolution. You might save yourself some money and you might get yourself just that trophy boat you've been looking for. Give the team a call, 3888 1727 or brisbaneyamaha.com.au, and I'll see you out in the water in a trophy boat.